The first and primary human relationship was that of the man and woman in marriage, as we see in Genesis 2, verses 18 through 24 with Adam and Eve. From this relationship came the first children, as we read in Genesis 4, verses 1 and 2, and all mankind descended from that point. The book of Proverbs contains several instructions about family relationships, emphasizing the importance of harmony in the home as well as the responsibilities of parents, children, and even grandparents. But today, we're going to start out talking about what Solomon has to say about maintaining harmony in the home. He makes the statement in Proverbs 15 and verse 17, that better is a dish of vegetables where love is, than a fattened ox served with hatred. He then makes the statement 2 chapters later, in chapter 17 and verse 1, that better is a dry morsel and quietness with it, than a house full of feasting with strife. A poor family is unable to sustain itself on any more than a dish of vegetables and a dry morsel. And while such a condition may not be desirable in itself, Solomon makes the point that there is love and quietness, the absence of strife, then even a poor home is one where there is joy, where there is peace and harmony. More than that, the prosperity that allows one to enjoy feasting is not worth pursuing if it leads to hatred and strife within the home. Too many people sacrifice family in order to pursue success in the things of this life. But no amount of this world's wealth can replace the blessing of a harmonious home. Solomon states in Proverbs 10 and verse 1 that a wise son makes a father glad, but a foolish son is a grief to his mother. And then in chapter 17 and verse 25, a foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her who bore him. A foolish son, by rejecting the ways of wisdom and being concerned only with fulfilling his desires, will cause trouble in the home. He causes grief to both his father and to his mother, and by his selfish and rebellious actions, he demonstrates that he despises his mother. Rather than helping to preserve harmony in the family, the foolish son instead brings about destruction. And he who sires a fool does so to his sorrow, and the father of a fool has no joy. Proverbs 17 and verse 21. The joy that accompanies the birth of a child does not always last. As the child grows, if he does not follow the path of wisdom, heeding the instruction of his parents, then the foolishness that is bound up in his heart will take root and will define his life. One is not a fool, though, from conception or from birth, but becomes one as he chooses the paths of wickedness. The father of such a one loses the joy that he once experienced on account of his child, and it is replaced with great sorrow. Solomon states in Proverbs 23 verses 15 and 16, My son, if your heart is wise, my own heart also will be glad, and my innermost being will rejoice when your lips speak that which is right. And then we skip down to verse 24, The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice, and he who sires a wise son will be glad in him. Let your father and your mother be glad, and let her rejoice who gave birth to you. In contrast with the verse that we've previously noted about causing sorrow, a son brings joy to his parents when he is wise, when he speaks what is right, and when he practices righteousness. The Apostle John, though he spoke of children in a figurative sense, expressed the same joy that Solomon speaks about when he says, I have no greater joy than this, to hear of my children walking in truth. 3 John verse 4. But Solomon makes the statement then to his son, Be wise, and make my heart glad, that I may reply to him who reproaches me. Proverbs 27 and verse 11. Solomon notes again that a wise son brings joy to his father. And in addition to this, he says that when his son walks in wisdom, that he is able to reply to him who reproaches me, whether it is fair or not. The actions of a child affect the reputation of his parents, but a son who acts wisely helps to preserve his father's reputation before his fellow man. Friends, we want to thank you for joining us for our program today. and may God bless you with a wonderful day.